I grew up being very competitive, and I think the first time I realized that I had a love for basketball was my older brother was a really good basketball player, and I went to one of his games and kind of fell in love with the sport. And then basically I started playing organized basketball for the first time in like 5th grade. One of the elementary school coaches that was teaching us on Saturday mornings kind of told me that he felt like I had a natural talent for it, and I knew I had a passion because I loved it. And then from that day forward, I basically really fell in love with the game and just constantly worked on my game. Like if it was snowing out, I would go and shovel the driveway off or the church parking lot off so I could shoot baskets. And I grew up in Indiana, so it was always snowing. I think the thing that separated me was my work ethic. I mean, one of the things that was really important to me was giving myself the opportunity to be the very best I could be. And the only way I could do that was to outwork people. And I knew I wasn't the tallest, the fastest, the strongest, or the quickest, but I knew that I could outwork anybody. And I decided then that I was going to control what I could control. And that was how many hours I was willing to put in, the sacrifices I was willing to make to be the best I could be. And you know, once I heard what the record was for the all-time leading scorer at Purdue, I set my sights on that. Then I heard what the record was for the all-time leading scorer in the Big Ten Conference, and I set my sights on that. And I just decided that every day I was willing to sacrifice something to give myself the opportunity to achieve my goals. I guess probably when I was in college, I knew then that I wanted to be a coach for sure. And I coached a 14 under AAU team to the Final Four in the national championship in AAU when I was a senior in college. And I knew then that I was bit by the bug, and this is what I wanted to do, and there was no way I would ever want to settle for doing anything else. I was very fortunate that Dave Brain, the athletic director at the time, you know, took a chance on a young coach that at that time I was 32 years old and the youngest coach in the ACC, and he gave me an opportunity to lead Georgia Tech, and I remember just feeling so thankful and appreciative of being given the opportunity and just committing myself that day to outworking everybody that I could, and just really giving every student athlete that I had the opportunity for a great degree. I think one of the greatest things that I was a part of was the year we went to the Sweet 16. It wasn't actually the wins and playing for the ACC championship and getting the Sweet 16. It was the fact that we had 5 seniors that year, 5 really special people, and they all graduated in 4 years from Georgia Tech, and 4 of them were first-time graduates in their families. So that was something that I was really proud of, the fact that they were successful at Georgia Tech when a lot of people told them they wouldn't be academically. And I think that really opened a door for us, recruiting-wise, to say, hey, you know, here's 5 kids that graduated in 4 years from Georgia Tech, and 4 of them are the first graduates of their families. And so that's probably, if I look back at my career so far at Georgia Tech, that was probably the thing that I'm the most proud of.
A lot of coaches, when they recruit you, they want you to come to their school, so they will tell you everything you want to hear. But when I was talking to Coach Jo, she told me the truth, and she did not hide anything. And even though she wanted me to know how it's going to be when I come to Tech, and I really appreciate that.
The definition of it would be like tough love, because she's the type of coach that demands a lot out of you, and she will make you uncomfortable, and she will knock you down a lot of times because she wants to get you to that breaking point. But then at the same time, she's the person who's going to be there to pick you back up, to like let you know that you can do it, you can do anything that you set your mind to.
We're going out here today, and we're going to be the toughest team on the floor for 40 minutes. We need focus and concentration. Nobody plays afraid. Not here, not today. Okay? Focus on what you want. Why not us? Why not now? Let's go!
There's so many unbelievable things that have happened. You know, the thing I think that stands out to me the most is watching a young person come into Georgia Tech, you know, with some challenges, and watching them overcome those challenges and become a better version of themselves as a human being based on the experiences they go through here, good and bad. We learn a lot more about ourselves in tough times than we do in easy times, and so it's really been rewarding to me over the course of my 15-year career at Georgia Tech to watch a young person come in and grow as a human being and change and become and flourish and become this unbelievable dynamic human being. When they came in, maybe they were walking around with their head down and insecure and shy, and they walk out of here a very confident young woman ready to take on anything that the world has to throw at them. And that's really rewarding for me as a coach, to be able to be a part of that journey for that young person.